Welcome back to 1600. In his first 4 weeks in office, President Obama successfully got his nearly $800 billion economic stimulus package passed and saw his job approval rating stay comfortably in the 60s. But the headlines are not about the new president's successful legislative coup. They're focused on the GOP's unsuccessful opposition to it. Headlines like, the GOP finds its voice, the GOP unites, and takes a stand for fiscal conservatism. Furthermore, the mainstream media has produced a list of winners and losers that seems strange when viewed beyond the Beltway. According to several organizations, including MSNBC, the winners include the Republican Party for its unity, Eric Cantor, the House Republican whip, for raising his profile, and Democratic Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid for getting Republican senators on board in his chamber, at least 3 of them. The losers include House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, despite her having played a key role in writing the bill that ultimately got passed. Joining us now is Jane Hamsher, founder of FireDogLake.com, an influential voice on the net. And Jane, first of all, Nancy Pelosi, she didn't get a single Republican on board, so why not describe that as a loss?
Well, I guess you could if you were looking at this as a game akin to baseball or hockey. But if you're an average American and you're looking at a bad economy, your hours being cut back, the inability to pay your mortgage, you're more than likely to look at her as a hero for having done something that really helped you. So the polling that was done by Research 2000 on behalf of Daily Kos indicates that Pelosi's popularity actually surged as a result of what she did with the stimulus bill. Her approval ratings since the first of the year have gone up 5 points, whereas Mitch McConnell and John Boehner's approval ratings have gone down by 11 points, and the congressional Republicans have also gone down by 10 points. So the view that she is a loser and the Republicans are winners for sticking together is a rather insular view of people who like to cover process over substance.
Well, speaking of, let's put up the numbers that you mentioned from that Research 2000 poll. Nancy Pelosi favorable, unfavorable, 42 to 39. Harry Reid, it's actually 32 favorable, 42 unfavorable. When you look at the Republicans, John Boehner 18 favorable, 55 unfavorable. Mitch McConnell, the Senate Republican leader, 22 and 50. And then, of course, there's this issue of Eric Cantor. I want to play something that he said on CBS, and we'll talk about him on the other side. Watch.
93% of America's families are current on their mortgages and frankly are out there wondering, who is going to pay for this continued succession of bailouts. Homeowners right now are suffering under skyrocketing property taxes. And if we put the bill for $50 billion plus on top of all the bills that families have right now, you may very well be set to encourage more foreclosures. We just cannot continue to pay for the kind of things that this administration thinks that we can.
Now, Jane, clearly Eric Cantor raised his profile, whether you agree with him or not. Why do you think the media cares about somebody's profile and whether it's high or not?
Well, those stories are easy to cover. It's easier to cover process than it is to actually dig into substance and talk about what's actually going on. And the mortgage crisis is very complicated. And obviously, Eric Cantor doesn't understand it, because if he thinks the $50 billion that is scheduled to help mortgage homeowners with their mortgages is coming out of property taxes, he has no business being in a leadership position in the House of Representatives. It's not. They're looking to the TARP 2 in order to take that money from. He's just wrong, but I guess he makes good copy.
And do you think, Jane, maybe the media is just lazy? And believe me, I agree with you on this.
There's that too. I mean, you have to fill up space somehow, but we like to think you as a hybrid MSM/blogger, because you've been with us since the Libby trial, David.
Yeah, we certainly like to think that some of us do not belong to that lazy category. In any case, Jane Hamsher from FireDogLake. Jane, great stuff, an important issue that you raised and one that people are justifiably upset on. Jane Hamsher from FireDogLake.com. Thanks, Jane.
Thanks, David.